welcome in episode 143 of Gracefully and Frankly. I'm Erin Davis.
I'm Lisa Brandt, and it's nice to have you back on, well, I guess you were on terra firma, but nice to have you back in your home space.
Yes, back to my envy pillow sheets. And of course, I always had my pillow with me, but that's beside the point. Lisa, it's so not like me, but I could not wait to do laundry. I know. Who is this?
Exactly.
Who has replaced me as your co-host? No, one of the places we were staying, I thought it had a washer dryer because a previous time we stayed in a different unit, it did. So I don't know how I'm at this point in my life where I'm really excited about washing clothes. But that's where we were on our vacation.
Are we talking just underwear or everything?
Oh, gosh, everything. Everything, okay. You know, because you're in it all day long.
Right.
But underwear, no, I brought like 8 or 9 pair, and then I just wash them by hand every night anyway, so I'm just reusing. I was going to say recycling. That sounds not good, but the same 2 favorite pair. Just weird. I don't know. We travel with too much underwear.
We're allowed at this age and this stage in our lives. So you were in some smoke in some of the places?
Oh, were we ever?
You were driving around. I mean, of course, there's lots of fires. Did you smell it? Did you see it?
Yes. We traveled from Vancouver Island, took the 90-minute ferry to the mainland, and then drove the 4 hours to Kelowna, then on to Revelstoke, which is beautiful there in the mountains, and then on to Kananaskis for a couple of nights, which, of course, hosted the G7 a few months ago and is right in the heart of the whole Banff area. And there it was very smazy, smoke and haze, because it's been very warm lately. But it was on the way home that the Mine Creek fire was still burning 3,000 hectares, Lisa. And we saw some of the helicopters doing their little dips and drops. And boy, that's a kind of courage. But yeah, when we woke up on Tuesday morning in Merritt, British Columbia, Rob opened the motel room door and the smoke just hits you. We were glad to have our eye drops with us on that trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're fine. Everybody's fine. The dogs love the trip. Just very, very stingy, if you will.
I don't know how he does it, but my nephew, Brandon, is fighting fires out there, and he's on the ground. So he's one of those guys with an axe and covered and everything. And I just don't know. I mean, he's young and full of hubris, and this is what he wants to do, but what a job it is. So you also lined up to get to the ferry, and you were like last
Yes.
car to not make it on. You had to wait. I'm sorry, but it was just funny. Like, somebody has to be in that position, right?
Exactly. And that's why I posted it. A few people thought I was complaining, just chill. No, I was so chilling. See, we booked on the 4 p.m. ferry. This is island life. You're always kind of playing a little bit of, okay, what time can we get there? What time will we get on? We booked the 4 p.m. ferry from Tsawwassen, which is near Vancouver, over back home to Vancouver Island. And we thought, because we don't know if there's going to be closures on the Coquihalla, anything can happen. You got to make yourself a lot of cushion space. So we got down there for $12.25. And so we got into the line at the booth and we said, please, please, please tell us there's room on the one. And he said, well, I don't think there is. You can get in that line and hope for the best. And then, as I have a couple times on this trip, I pulled out a $5 bill and I said, look, what's in it for you? And he laughed and we laughed and we got in the line. And just a few minutes later, they started loading the cars. Well, we're moving very slowly. And you start getting so nervous. It's like, oh, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. We're going to make it.
Yeah.
And it's not like the last train to Clarksville. It's not your chance to get out before, the Nazis come in. It's not that damn important. But you get that excitement. And we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're thinking, please, please, please. And then the pylons come down right in front of our car. And we both put our hands in front of our faces and went, no. And the guy with the pylons is laughing because, they see it all the time. And I waved the 5 out the window and I said, come on, there's got to be room. And actually, he came to the window. He was very funny. And Rob said, if we had been driving the Mini, could we have gotten on? He said, maybe a motorcycle.
So on your trip, did you run into any critters? And what did you see? What did you learn?
Oh, Lisa, You know, when you're on these trips, and I always think of you and Derek on motorcycles, the last thing you want to do is see wildlife when you're on the highways. Even if it's wandering along in the ditch, no, that can turn fatal awfully fast. And the fact that you're here and Derek's here means it hasn't for you, so thank goodness.
Right.
But we're going through BC and Alberta and seeing these signs that have 4 animals on them, like watch for mountain goats, watch for bears, watch for elk, watch for deer. Nothing. Nothing. Except on the way home, across a river off the highway, I could see a black bear walking along the beach.
Oh, cool.
And for all I know, it was somebody's Newfoundlander. But no, it was a bear. But I saw a magpie and I saw a squirrel. And that was it. I don't know. I think it's just all a PR ploy. Watch for these animals. Oh, sure. Right. So that's our joke, and maybe it is for anyone else who travels the roads, is that, okay, so here's what we're not going to see on this trip. Like that happened to us when we went to Newfoundland, maybe to you too, where we were watching for moose. They warn you.
Oh, we saw moose. Yeah.
You did.
We did.
Okay, I don't believe you.
No.
You're lying? You're with Newfoundland Tourism?
We actually saw a whole herd, gaggle, a murder of moose, whatever, all drinking from the same pond. And so they were very relaxed, and it was like they were just going out for a smoke or something.
So a loose moose is what you're saying.
Exactly. And there's just a bunch of them all drinking at this brook or pond. And yes, that was pretty exciting. I think there were maybe 5 or 6 of them, but it wasn't like one crossed in front of us or anything, which is good.
Yes.
Well, we did give them our 5s, and so they stayed out for the other people who came by. So I learned from you. So you did take your Envy pillow.
Yes, Rob and I both did. And they're in those nice satin carrying bags, so no matter how many times you load and unload the car, the Envy pillows are never an imposition. And it's the funniest thing, whether we were staying in a motel, as we did the last night, or in an upscale glamping kind of community, the Envy pillow is what always makes your bed feel like home. And that's so important when you're traveling.
We do have some American listeners to Gracefully and Frankly, and I got this week's email from Kathy and Kim at Envy Pillow, which was a huge revelation. First, they're paying the tariffs if the Envy pillow gets shipped to the States. But the second is the pillow is a male.
What? The pillow is a male?
A male, not a female. Yes, they're saying that, that a Mountie is your pillow, reporting for beauty sleep duty. And yeah.
But there are female Mounties.
That's true. But this pillow is apparently a guy.
That's what you want to believe. Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. So they pay the duties. They pay whatever extra stuff has been piled on. So I think that's pretty cool of them.
It really is. And these are hard times for so many business people who have absolutely no blame in any of this. Everyone's just a pawn. So what do? We support Canadian wherever we can. And that's why you go to Envy, ENVY, pillow.com. Check out everything that they've got. And of course, use the code GF for 10% off. How do they give a discount when they're already up against it? But they do. And give them a try.
So the Toronto International Film Festival brought out the stars again. Part of me gets a little bit of FOMO from my former life, and I go, I would have loved to have met Toni Collette or somebody like that.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis? Oh, my God.
Oh, exactly.
Oof.
But the other part of me goes, no, you wouldn't, because you would have been exhausted and you would have been miserable because you had to get up at 3:30 in the morning, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody thought we had that life. We got the best invitations that we couldn't go to,
But we heard the stories, certainly because of working with people who went to the movies, and we heard all sorts of behind-the-scenes tales.
Yeah, like who was nice on the red carpet, who was not. Just a lot of big stars and some films that are going to be at the Oscars next year. You just know they are because TIFF leads the way.
The only one that really caught my attention so far was I Like Me, the John Candy documentary. I really want to see that.
So do I. Looking forward to that. And Spinal Tap, you and I are going next month. We're going to be together.
Yes, we are. So excited.
I'm getting way off the red carpet here. But there are stories from Tiff that even though this is a big anniversary year, you will never hear. And how do we hear them? Well, in my case, it was my makeup artist. I know. Who was it? Picasso? Is your eye supposed to be there? No, but she told me a story, and she was gorgeous. And she was called to a certain Oscar-nominated, if not winner, to his hotel room. And he showed up with his robe open and nothing on underneath.
What?
Yeah, I don't know who he was expecting, whether he had made a call for a girl, if you will, or if that's just the way he says hello. Say hello to my little friend.
And we can't say who this is?
Why not? Should we?
Yes.
Rafe Fiennes. Rafe Fiennes.
Wow. That surprises me. Wow.
Yeah, these were in the days when he was fine, by the way. But yeah, it was him. And this isn't just salacious gossip.
Oh, I hope it is.
Well, no, we don't do salacious. We do fact-based.
Right.
Unless, of course, it has to do with Pam Anderson and Liam Neeson.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. But Brian Linehan told me,
Brian.
years and years ago, obviously, that the same thing happened with James Woods, that he came to the door.
Ew!
So he's disgusting and gross, but he is legendary for the size of his little friend. So apparently it was memorable, and he liked everybody to see it. So there you go.
Oh, geez. Well, if it took away from his face, it's not the fact that James Woods is not good looking. That's not it. He was a good actor, and maybe he still is, but he's gone full on crazy MAGA. So
yeah. Yeah. So Pamela Anderson put out a statement. She was talking and...
Thank you for the sorbet to cleanse our minds, Lisa. What about Pamela Anderson?
She said at this film festival in France that she would never, ever do something like get into a PR stunt for romance or anything. So this whole thing about her and Liam Neeson just pretending to be together for their movie, The Naked Gun, is not true. She said, I would never do anything like that. My whole goal is to live authentically. So... You don't believe it?
Well, okay, I'm just thinking about Julian Assange and all of the liaisons, but you know what? I want to believe her. And really, it's none of my business or yours. Somehow, though, when you put your relationship out there, you do kind of make it other people's business. I don't know. It seems tawdry. We've just been talking about open bathrobes, and yet this feels tawdry. You know?
I just saw somebody put on Threads. Oh, it was Audrey Loves Paris.
I love her.
That apparently the Pamela Anderson, Liam Neeson thing is fake. So Liam, call me. But yeah. I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Okay. There are some other celebrities who are making news, and you have to kind of dig for this story because it's not glamorous. It's not pretty. It's painful. And you're the one who brought this to my attention. And we'd like to talk about it.
Emma Hemming Willis, Bruce Willis's wife, has literally just released a book called The Unexpected Journey about looking after Bruce. He was diagnosed at the age of 67 with frontotemporal dementia. And everybody thinks they know what that is. It's not the same thing as regular dementia. So he had aphasia first, which is a problem with connecting the brain to speech. And his last couple of movies, I guess, were really hard to work on because he couldn't remember lines. And it was just so sad. Mm-hmm. And then a year later was diagnosed with this frontotemporal dementia. And it is typified by behavioral changes and acting compulsively, all sorts of different things. It's not the same thing as dementia. So she mentioned in an interview that he lives in a house separate from her and the kids on the same property. They go have meals with him, but he has to have care around the clock. And people lost their minds. Aww. And criticized her for this. And they have no idea what it's like to be in her shoes. And that's what she said. You know, you haven't got the lived experience. I don't accept your criticism. Can you imagine? She's trying to raise these two girls. Who knows how he's behaving? Like, we don't know. She says she still sees glimpses of him in his eyes. Well, that means that most of the time, he's not the person she married.
And she's probably being very careful not to mess with the fond memories people have of him by disclosing what is keeping her from him, too. We both know, and I certainly saw this when my sister was taking care of our dad in her home, just how much it gets to be. And my dad even swatted Leslie's grandson one day, and it's like, no. That's not happening. Yeah. And that's so out of character for him. Did we get swatted? Yes. But I won't continue that sentence, which is we had it coming. But, her grandson, absolutely. And that's when we started to see that, his fuse is getting way too short. In addition to all of the hygiene stressors and getting up in the night and wandering around and living completely in their own world.
Yeah, and not all of us are cut out for caregiving. And not only that, you don't get a shift. It's not like you check out at 4 o'clock and go, okay, I'm done now. Yeah. It goes on and on and on. And I think people who haven't done it or seen it up close think that it's easier than it is, or I love this person, so I'm never going to get frustrated, or I'm never going to. Of course you are. You're only human, and it demands so much sacrifice. My heart breaks for her because she's a young woman, basically. I mean, she's not old by any means, and her marriage just has fallen apart through no fault of her own, and she's stuck there. She's with him, looking after him, and it's not for any selfish reason. Of course, she wants her kids to know their dad, but how much can they know now? I mean, it's just so heartbreaking. And we can watch his movies over and over again, Die Hard, and see what he used to be like.
Moonlighting, he was absolutely peak.
He's just not there anymore, and it's really hard for people to accept. But the fact that anyone was hard on her about it is just wrong. But she's got such a great perspective. She's just like, you can say what you want. You're not here. You're not living this life, and you're just wrong.
Yeah, walk a mile in my shoes. It really does resonate that people have no idea what they're talking about.
We lost an actor. We lost a movie star, but she lost the life that she thought she was having, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can just go pound salt if they want to criticize her, I think.
Of course, we took our coffee maker with us on our trip. The emergency coffee maker. But hey, we want to thank Carol Clark, Queenager, for buying us 5 coffees, a whole fistful of coffees. Thank you, Carol. What a sweetie.
Yes, we appreciate it so much. It's another way to support the podcast, and just click on the little coffee at the lower left-hand corner on our website, gracefullyandfrankly.com. We appreciate so much that you take the time to do something like that. And Carol, is it Carol who has Kira?
Yes, Kira the dog.
Kira, best dog ever, Erin.
Oh, well, this is what I hear.
Yeah.
Aw.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks so much, yes. And we jokingly said a few weeks ago that this would, go toward airfares to get us together. But our big news is that we are getting together next month. Squee!
Yes, you are coming for Thanksgiving weekend, and I cannot wait. Derek's excited. We're keeping it from cuddles to the last second because,
well,
he doesn't need that kind of stress. He's an old cat.
I know. We're not bringing the dogs.
Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some crazy fun together here in Port Stanley.
Oh, it'll be great. And we have reserved each other to go see Spinal Tap together. Even though it's opening this weekend, we're going to wait. Do you think we can wait?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to wait. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. Now, the only quandary is that we're going to be together during a long weekend, and we don't think a Facebook Live is going to work on a long weekend. So we're going to figure out something else to do while we're together.
Yeah. I just realized that I'm off the hook for thinking of supper for one night because we'll have popcorn.
Yay! Yeah. That's great. That is great.
Maybe we'll do some work with my selfie stick and phone as we're walking through Port Stanley or something. We'll figure it out.
All right. That's going to be great. It's so great when friends get together, as you well know, and Thanksgiving is a good time. And we're going on to Mike Cooper's after that, and then on to Ottawa to the grandkids. But a friend of this podcast, Kathy Buckworth, got in touch with us. She does the go-to grandma on breakfast television and writes a column for Parents Canada called Grandparenting Unfiltered.
She knows everything to do with grandparenting. So when we talked about grandma showers and how we thought it was a terrible idea for the grandma to bring the attention back to herself, Kathy said, hey, know what you're talking about, but here's a different perspective on it.
Morning, Lisa and Aaron. I just wanted to send you a quick note about grandma showers. They've actually been around for quite a few years, mostly in the US, but for some reason, getting a lot of press in Canada now. I did a TV segment on them back in 2023, and I'm just going to say the original focus of these showers grew out of the fact that most grandparents have outdated and frankly, sometimes unsafe baby equipment and toys. The genesis of the showers was to allow the grandma friends to pitch in and help the grandma to be able to afford some safe and new equipment in their homes if they wanted to help out with childcare. It has likely morphed into a more, oh, look at me scenario as you described, but the original intent was good. And honestly, if my friends wanted to throw me a party, let's replace the word shower here, because I'm having a new grandchild, I'm all for that. And it was just my 2 cents, and looking forward to your next podcast.
Well, thanks for that, Kathy. And you know what I think we did, Lisa? We inadvertently piled on the grandmas. I mean, that makes so much sense what she's talking about.
Does.
Yeah.
But like everything, it starts one way and then morphs into another, depending on the people who are involved.
Yeah.
But it's good to know how it started. That makes perfect sense.
It does. Get rid of the lead paint that's been chewed through on that old crib down in the basement. It is a good idea. And that's the grandma showers. A party for Kathy. Kathy, you've had 4 grandkids. All right, no more parties. But thank you so much for leaving us a voicemail. And you can leave one too. Go to gracefullyandfrankly.com. Look for the little icon.
Yeah, it's a little microphone in the bottom right.
And then just leave a message. You've got 2 minutes to do it. If you go over, call back, finish what you had to say, and we'll put it all together. And thanks for being part of our show. We really appreciate it. Of course, you know that September is awards month. We had TIFF, of course, but the Emmys are this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Guarantee you Stephen Colbert is going to win. Finally.
Yeah.
Because of being ousted the way he has been by CBS and Paramount. I can't make any other predictions, though. There have been so many great shows this year. Yeah, so September is a lot, and of course, my birthday. And I think I'm going to be around just after your birthday, Miss Lisa, so hold off on the cake. We're going to do it. We're going to do it together.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay, don't hold off. We'll have cake twice. I heard the hesitancy in your voice. Wait a minute, what do you mean I don't get cake? No, that was very selfish of me.
Why can't we have it twice?
Exactly, we should. Yes. We should. Queen-agers have all the cake. But also, there's a lot of arthritis that hits at this age. 1 in 6 Canadians lives with arthritis, Lisa, and that's why September is Arthritis Awareness Month in Canada. Sierra Sil is doing everything they can to help you to deal with your arthritis and to live a full life, to walk better, to feel good, and to do it within 14 days or your money back. And right now, when you buy Sierra Sil, the 180 capsule bottles, you automatically get a bonus size bottle. So that's an extra 7 days of joint support, completely free. Find out more at their website.
SierraSil.com. Sierra like the mountains, S-I-L like sister-in-law.com. And use your code GF for 14% off.
You know, I mentioned my dad a little bit earlier on, and you told me about someone who told you a story about your dad at a get-together a few weeks ago. I love when we learn new things about our parents, even after they're gone, if they're good things.
Well, we got together with my Uncle Wayne, who was my dad's youngest brother and the only surviving member of the family, and I'm just so lucky that he wants to see us and we get together for lunch once in a while and stuff. Anyway, he started telling me about the time my dad won $75,000 at the casino. Well, I'm aware that my dad had a win at the casino, but my mom and I understood it was $50,000.
Oh.
And so after he told the story, I was amused. I mean, it's not going to make me mad or anything. So I was really tickled by it. And at the end of the story, I said to my uncle, do you realize that I am just now finding out that it was $75,000? And that he obviously tucked $25,000 away somewhere. And he goes, oh, no, really? Anyway, we had a good laugh about it because my dad was all about practical jokes and he was a jovial guy and there's no harm, no foul. But it's just funny to me that he needed this little nest egg and kept it for my mom. Like, what in the world do you do with $25,000? I don't know. None of my business, I suppose.
I guess you dream on it.
I guess.
They didn't have a particularly happy marriage, so maybe it was just his kind of, well, if I have to go, I'll need this. Do you think it was kind of, a lot of women do that, right? They keep their own emergency fund?
It could have been a go bag. Like
Right.
he'd have a pair of his favorite socks, a change of shirt, and $25,000. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have money of my own that Derek, it's not that he doesn't know about it. He
Well,
doesn't
he
know
does
how
now.
much is in it. Well, but he doesn't know how much is in it or anything. But he has the same. He does too. And as far as I'm concerned, that's his mad money or whatever. And do you keep your money separate like that?
Not even a tiny bit. And I know that as a modern woman, I probably should or should have. But Rob and I are so intrinsically woven together. He takes care of all the banking, all the money. And sometimes, if I do a job and I get a payday, I'll say, is this the day? Is this the day you're leaving me? Because it's like he's gonna abscond with any funds. But no, I completely trust him. And I know you trust Derek, but
I do.
There's never any question, why did you buy this or why did you spend this much or anything? Never, ever, 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 ever has it happened. But we're lucky. We're very lucky.
Well, you're lucky, but you've also been together longer and you've sort of grown up together.
Yeah.
So I completely get that. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have to be a matter of trust. I guess my third marriage, not that I think I need a go bag, but
Right.
he's the same. I mean, he's got his own little whatever tucked away as well.
Yeah. There are some spouses who would lose their minds if they knew their partners had a secret fund. But I happen to know that an avid listener to this show, hi, Leslie, my younger sister, has an obsession, let's say, with card making, and she's very good at it. And that costs money. All of the stamps and the glitter and the scissors and, it just goes on forever, where you spend $25 to make a card, right? So,
Right.
But she has this bit of money on the side, I think, that is for her fun, so that she doesn't have to be completely responsible to the family funds and all that it's her bit of freedom. And it's not disloyalty and it's not, I need an escape fund. It's just like, no, I need this for me. And I think that's important too.
I agree. If Derek needs a whatchamacallit thingamajigger for his motorcycle, he shouldn't have to try and convince me that it's important or even talk to me about it. It's his thing. So I get it. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's a great story about your dad. I heard one about my dad a couple weeks ago at his kid brother's 50th anniversary.
Oh.
And I didn't know that. My dad actually helped Vern get on a flight. Vern was also military, and he was going to RMC, military college in Kingston, and desperately missing home out in Three Hills, Alberta, for Christmas. He thought he was so grown up. He'd gone with some of the guys. They'd pulled an all-nighter and driven down to Florida, got there and went, oh, this isn't any fun. Drove back home in the snow. Got home, was feeling miserable, and my dad got Vern signed on, because Dad was a senior officer, got him signed on as crew to just a flight that happened to be going over to Edmonton, and got Vern home for Christmas. And it just meant so much to hear that story about how Dad saved Christmas for his kid brother that year.
That is so nice. That is love right there. I love it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's so funny when I saw Vern, because he looked so much like my dad, 19 years his junior. I just put my hands on both sides of his face, and I said, oh, it's so good to see that face, because it's like seeing your loved one come around again, and it's nice.
Yep. My Uncle Wayne actually looks more like my grandmother than my dad. And that to me is very heartwarming, because she was one of the most important people in my life, and she's been gone since 1983. So I completely get it.
Wow. That's 42 years now. 42 years, Lisa. How did that happen?
I don't know. I don't understand. How has it been 45 years since the Terry Fox run began?
Oh, yeah. And this weekend, those are happening across Canada, around the world. And whatever you can do, they're taking place everywhere. And you just go to terryfox.org for information on what's happening near you. Or you could do the really easy thing, which also helps a lot. Just donate online.
Easy to do, and you don't have to get up from your chair.
That's right. Oh, speaking of NFL season, how are things in your house? I know your husband's an NFL fan. I'm so sorry. Thoughts and prayers, Lisa.
He is, but he hasn't insisted on watching anything yet. It's early days, so we'll see. We'll see as it goes on. It's just certain games that he wants to watch. He doesn't have to see everyone, thank goodness.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we do have a lot to be grateful for, including putting together a menu for when we're there for Thanksgiving.
Yes, popcorn. No. There'll be real food.
Yay.
And you know what I'm really excited about, though? I mean, of course, seeing you and all that. Rob and Derek getting together, because they haven't seen each other in a while, and they get along famously. So I think that's going to be terrific, too.
We love when our kids play together.
I was just thinking, it's a play date.
That's exactly it. That's it.
You go in the garage. We'll see you in a couple of hours.
Don't do anything with a blowtorch. Oh, too late. Oh, jeez. All right, my friend, we will talk to you next week and have a great weekend.
You as well. Bye.
Bye.